I think it's fair to say that Deontay Wilder is a bit of a divisive character in the world of boxing. There's a sizable contingent of people who believe that Wilder is a fraud, he's a hype job, he's a protected fighter, and that he's no good, basically. But there's also a sizable contingent of people who believe that Deontay Wilder is the truth and that he's going to unify the heavyweight division and become undisputed champion. But as far as the naysayers that Wilder has, he's certainly not going to do himself any favors by making statements like the statement he made this week with regards to Mike Tyson. Tyson to this day is one of the most beloved figures in the world of boxing, if not the most beloved figure. I always maintain that when it comes to fanaticism, there is no fan base more fanatical than the Mike Tyson fan base, particularly when you consider the fact that Tyson's prime was 20-something years ago, and here we are in 2018, and his fan base is as fanatical as ever, if not more so. So, yeah, when you're disrespecting or perceived to be disrespecting somebody like Mike Tyson, there's going to be a hell of a backlash against you if you're Deontay Wilder. So anyway, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about yet, I'm going to give you the quote from Deontay Wilder, which he made a few days ago. Wilder said, and he was speaking to TMZ Sports, he said, "Me versus Tyson in 86, I kicked the hell out of that guy. Listen, I've got to keep it real. I know people always go back to the old school or look at the new school, and there's no school where I'm not number one on earth." Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. He said he would kick the hell out of Tyson in 86. Now, before I get specifically to address that, I'm now going to give you guys a quote from Lennox Lewis, who responded to what Deontay Wilder said. Lewis says, "I just heard Deontay Wilder say he would destroy a young Mike Tyson. My thoughts are that it's easy to talk until you actually get in the ring. I like Wilder, but he's never been in there with someone that ferocious who truly wants to break his ribs with every punch. I don't see it. I love Wilder's confidence. You need that to sit atop the heavyweight division. He's hungry and shows up in probably the best shape in the division, but there's levels to it, and he's still adding to his arsenal. My best advice to the entire crop of young heavyweight champs is to focus on being the best of your era, out of respect and reality. It's unprovable. Of course, people asked, but I found no need to speculate or compare myself to my idol Muhammad Ali or any of the past greats. History will decide your place among the all-time greats. So go out there, clean up the division, defend your title, reign supreme, and your work will speak for itself." So those are the very measured, diplomatic, and considered words of the the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. And I followed Lewis's career very closely when he was fighting. And off the top of my head, indeed, I can't remember Lennox Lewis ever saying that he would beat this great or that great from the past. I can't remember him ever doing that. He was a big Muhammad Ali fan. That was his idol. And yeah, he certainly never came out and said, "Oh, I would have beaten Ali," or this, that, and the other. No, he was always very respectful of the champs of the past. Whereas Deontay Wilder has had this kind of beef with Tyson for a while now. He's frustrated by the fact that Tyson doesn't really seem to rate him very highly. And I think he might feel betrayed, because I suspect that Wilder was actually a bit of a Tyson fan. And when he found out that he didn't really have Tyson's endorsement, he probably felt a bit slighted by that, you know? So yeah, he's been going at Tyson for a couple years now, actually, Deontay Wilder. And now he's saying that there's no era where he wouldn't be number one. I mean, just like Lennox Lewis said there, I like Wilder's confidence, actually. Yeah, I've got no problem with him saying that he's the greatest or whatever like that. But as long as he's going to get in the ring and prove it, that's the thing. Muhammad Ali, when he first came onto the scene, he was calling himself the greatest. When he beat Sonny Liston, he said, "I'm the greatest of all time." Joe Louis was still very much in the memory of the American people when Muhammad Ali was coming out and calling himself the greatest. Joe Louis was heavyweight champion for, what was it, like 11 years or something crazy? And here, Muhammad Ali just gets one world title victory and he's basically saying he's better than Joe Louis, you know? So that was an audacious thing for Muhammad Ali to do at the time because he hadn't proved that he was great yet. He wasn't taken seriously when he beat Sonny Liston, by the way. Not that I was alive back then, but, you know, from historical accounts and people who were alive at the time, they'll tell you Ali wasn't taken seriously. He was seen as a clown. The first Liston victory was seen as a fluke. Yeah, this is how a lot of people saw it. So he had to, over the years, prove himself in the ring. At first, he wasn't taken seriously. So Deontay Wilder hasn't proved it either. He's got it all to prove. It's definitely going to be a good start if he can beat Luis Ortiz, but he has to go on from there and involve himself in unifications and whatever and prove, back up his boasts. If he thinks he's the greatest, back it up. Don't just talk about it, be about it. So we'll see what Deontay Wilder can do over the next year or so. But as far as how Deontay Wilder would do against an 86 Mike Tyson, styles make fights. I think he would lose. I know Mike Tyson has never fought a guy as tall as Deontay Wilder who can punch that hard, but he has fought guys of similar dimensions to Wilder. You have to remember that Wilder is not a big guy in terms of body mass. So I don't think he's going to shock Tyson, an 86 Tyson, in terms of his physical strength. You know, he's not like a Klitschko or a Joshua or even a Lennox Lewis who weighs, you know, north of 240 pounds. No. Deontay Wilder weighs a similar amount to Tony Tucker. Tucker, when he fought Tyson, was about, I think, 220. And he was 6'5". Calder Truth Williams, I think, weighed about 220. And he was 6'5". Tyrell Biggs was 6'6". When he fought Tyson, he was about 230, I think. So, yeah, Tyson has fought guys of similar dimensions to Wilder. He hasn't fought, you know, Tyson never fought guys like Klitschko and Lewis in his prime because those were tall guys who were very big and physically strong. I know he fought Frank Bruno, Razor Ruddock. Those guys were only 6'3". Those guys were not 6'5", 6'6", 240, 250 pounds. So he didn't have experience with fighting guys like a Klitschko type dimensions in his prime with that kind of physical strength and whatever and power. But he did fight guys with Deontay Wilder's type of dimensions in terms of height and weight and whatever, but not with Wilder's power, that's for sure. He fought lots of guys that could punch hard, Tyson, but not with the combination of height and reach that Wilder has along with the power. So that has to be said. But still, based on the styles, I would definitely pick Mike Tyson to beat Deontay Wilder at this point. Wilder once said that he would never lose to a guy below 6'5". He just doesn't see it happening. And so far, he hasn't really put a foot wrong, at least not at championship level, when it comes to fighting shorter guys. And we've never seen him in there with a guy as short as Tyson, as far as I'm aware, not in championship fights anyway. Tyson was only 5'10". So, you know, it's a huge, huge height and reach difference. But yeah, I would be picking Tyson if that fantasy matchup ever happened, you know, in fantasy land. But yeah, you can't, or I can't hate on Deontay Wilder for making brash claims as long as he's going to back it up. So back it up, Deontay, get in there, involve yourself in unifications, and then what you're doing is palatable for at least me, you know. A lot of people don't like trash talk. Me personally, I like it. So yeah, drop your comments in the comment section below, people. Let me know how you feel about Deontay Wilder's comments here. I can't imagine there are going to be many of you who come out in support of Deontay Wilder. I think most of you are going to be echoing the sentiments of Lennox Lewis, if not going even further than what Lennox Lewis has said. So, you know, Lewis is very diplomatic with the things that he said to Deontay Wilder there. He wasn't too scathing of him. He was very diplomatic, but he basically said, look, you got to prove it and don't worry about saying you're the greatest. Let history put you wherever history's going to put you at the end of the day. So, you know, some fighters do it that way. Other fighters declare themselves the greatest, like Floyd Mayweather and like Muhammad Ali, you know. But as I say, Ali went on to prove it. That's the thing. He went on there. He went on to take on top guys. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know how you feel in the comment section, people. It's happening. I'm out.